Hey folks, been picking here, looking at the Sparrows Revolver practice lock. It's a 4-chamber practice lock, which is a great idea. When I first saw this come out, I knew I wanted one. I take locks to work with me, also over to family or friends, or even if I'm shopping with someone I know is going to take a long time, I'll take a lock with me. But if you took 4 locks, that's quite a bit, and I do. When I go to work, for sure I take 4 locks with me. So when I saw this revolver come out, I had to get one. So I got it, I tested it out, and I've got to tell you, I did find one issue that Sparrows needs to be aware of. Possible fixes. Other than that, this thing is great. I'm very happy to have it. I went ahead and picked it to show you, save a little time and show you the issue I'm talking about. So when you've picked a lock and you're rotating it to the next set, the next chamber, sometimes you'll run into this incident. It looks like it's lined up with the next row, but it's not. The problem is the pins from the opposite chamber are interfering with the keyway. And so I've got an idea. I mean, you can overcome this easily with just, there we go, sticking any straight object in there, laying the pins down, and rotating it and locking it up. I mean, that works, but I don't want to do that every time, so I'm going to do something else. Take the little key provided, rotate it halfway to the next chamber. I'll tell you what, let's lock it up first. Let's unscrew the back. Standard Schlage ring on the back. See if we can get that off without too much trouble. Get a pin, get our spring out. Okay, now we'll insert our key and rotate the cylinder. Get our follower, make sure we don't put our slot lined up with the pins, that would be a mess. Alright. So, I'm going to go ahead and dump out these key pins. You can see everything's working and they're fine. We'll set these aside. On the bottom of this core, you can see, just like every other core, it has pretty much a knife edge. And that's what's hanging up on these pins in the chambers. So what I want to do is kind of chamfer that edge a little bit, and we'll find out if that helps or not. Chamfering is one idea. Another idea I've had is using metal tape, but then that really, you have to be very careful not to bind up your core with metal tape. So I'm just giving it a light chamfer. Both sides, because you know some people want to pick left-handed or left counterclockwise. With this lock, because of this, you will not want to use T-pins, arrow pins, anything with a reduced radius on the tip, because it will get inside this groove. Let's reinsert our pins. I think I've chamfered that, not much, but hopefully enough to make a difference. In fact, let me give it a little bit more on this side. That probably looks good. Reinsert my pins. I'm hoping this works. Another idea would be nice. I don't have one, but Bobby Keys calls it a shotgun. What it is the bottom side of a key cut off, and you insert it into the keyway for well, picking. If you cut off the bottom ridge of a key, leave a little hanging out, insert it in the keyway, helps elevate your pick and make it easier to pick the lock. But also in this situation would handle that open keyway well. Let's put our lock back together and see what we can see. Where is that? Wish me luck. This lock overall has a beautiful finish. I love it. It does resemble a 6-gun cylinder. Of course, in this case, it'd be an 8-gun, but well made, solid. They do give you plenty of extras. They give you another key, a 6-pin key, if you want to go that route. Pin it up with 6 pins with the pins included for that key. If you don't want to use that key, they give you a bag full of other key pins. So if you wanted to grab a key that you already own, say your house key or whatever, and wanted to key up to it just to practice, you could do that. They give you a bag of security pins. And here we have serrated spools, mushrooms over here. So you can pin up the lock as you like. There's a bag of springs, small bag of springs in case you lose a spring or two. And 5 more chamber plugs in case you drop a plug and you don't want to be completely out of luck. They give you some more. They give you a wrench so you can remove your plugs. They come out very easy. And I'm unscrewing a plug from an empty chamber right now. So you can insert other pins and springs. Change the pins and springs you have. If you want sturdier springs or more challenging pins. The lock as it comes, the first group, as indicated by this arrow marking, these are all standard pins. Then as you go around the lock, the entire lock's pinned up for 5 pins. The 6th pin is empty right now, and you'll have a standard and a security pin, a standard pin, security, and a standard. So you have 2 security pins in each of these 3 chambers. So if you get past that point and you want to make it more difficult, you have the bag of more security pins to work with, which is handy. And now, let me make sure everything's working fine. We will pick this. Yes, I know. I hear you. You say, it was already picked. You could have just thrown it around. Let's see what happens.
Three hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Alright. Let's see if our chamfer trick worked. We will rotate our lock around now and see if the pins get hung in the bottom or not. Nope, it locked up nice. Alright. So I'm liking the chamfer idea. A very light chamfer on the bottom. Prevent the keys from the pins from binding up. Can't think of much more to say about this thing. It's a great little lock. A little bit pricey, you might think, but you know, if you go buy 4 locks along with the added trouble of carrying 4 locks, it would cost in the same area. So for myself, I think this thing is great. Very solid. There's nothing cheesy about it. Great idea. So if you guys are of that mind, go run out and order one from sparrows.com. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.